Hello. Do you remember the last time you read a book that changed your life forever? Well, today I have the pleasure of introducing such a book and the author. Natasha Rosewood has been fine-tuning her craft for nearly 4 decades. Having a diverse background in palm reading, past life regression, metaphysics, spirit mediumship, Natasha is the whole package. Today we begin a 3-part series introducing her and her 3 books to you. Hello, Natasha.
Hi, Christopher.
In your first book, I Think I'm Psychic and You Can Be Too, you cover from birth till the present, the ups and downs of your calling, as well as an instructional manual on the world of being psychic, abilities one would need, and instruction on developing and recognizing one's own gifts. So let me just start by reading from your book. You write, "We know that every gift or power that we possess comes with a responsibility. Sometimes that responsibility is merely to make sure we use the gift wisely. Accountability for our words and actions has a habit of keeping us balanced and our egos in check. This doesn't always happen, of course, but in the world of the spirit, that's the general idea. It is the same with the gift of being psychic." So I noticed that when I read through your book, you have a very gentle approach to working with people and sharing visions. Why is that important to you?
It's really important to me, Christopher, because I've been to a lot of psychics and I have been quite damaged by them, and I've had a lot of clients who've come to me and been told that they wouldn't live a day after their 40th birthday. And so these poor people have been living 20 years or 25 years of their life going, oh my God, I better get on with it because I'm going to be dead soon. And so my first rule of thumb is do no harm. So I like to give people lots of interpretation on the information I give and give them the power to decide what is real and what isn't. So they're still in the driver's seat.
Okay. In chapter 10, you write that we can listen to find our own intuitive voice, but then how do we separate that from the chatter that we hear in our minds?
The quick answer to that is the ego is what goes on in the head, and I encourage my clients when they're listening to their intuition is to ask them where are they feeling it in their body. So if they're feeling it in their gut, obviously that's a gut feeling. But if it's going on in the head, it's normally because we've made it up.
Okay. You write about strengthening your psychic skills. Well, how do you do this then?
I encourage people to look at intuition as something that's inherent in all of us. So I treat everybody as already being psychic. And then I say it's like a muscle. So if you go to the gym and you exercise and lift weights, those muscles get stronger. You've got to use it or lose it. So practice with it. Guess who's on the phone, guess what the weather's going to be like on Saturday, guess who's going to win the election, that kind of thing, and then write down your validations.
Oh, that's a good tip. You write, "I believe that everything that will be in our future already exists somewhere out there in space." Can you explain this to me?
Well, I think we all have lots of potentials, and everything that we're already thinking of, even on the subconscious level, is starting to go from from energy into matter. So as we start to create desire or think about where we're going, it's starting to form. And I think people can choose different parallel universes if they can. And when they've decided that that's the future they want, it's like pulling something off the shelf at the supermarket. Just bring it in from the ether.
Okay. Well, you write, "Being a psychic, I can see the truth." Can the truth change?
Absolutely. I hope it does sometimes, let me tell you. But it's how we see the truth. The way I like to describe truth, it's like a big mountain, and you might be coming from the far side and seeing the steep side of the mountain. I might be coming from the other side and seeing the gentle slope going up. Somebody else might be coming from the east and seeing the grassy side of it, and somebody else might be seeing the big gullies. So there's lots of versions of the truth, but only one truth.
Okay. Well, what concerned me was that you wrote about predicting an earthquake in the area that we live in. But can something like this also change in its destiny?
I believe so. I pray a lot about this earthquake. Every time July the 11th rolls around, I envision this white netting that's keeping everything in place. And I know a lot of other psychics have picked up on an earthquake in this area. I mean, you don't have to be a psychic to know that, would you? We're overdue, actually. So a lot of praying is putting out, envisioning that different future. And we all have a lot of power by putting out our energy in a certain vision out into the ether, like I was saying before. So yes, we can change it, absolutely, or minimize the impact.
That's good to know.
Yes, very good.
So I've just been asking you questions about some of the psychic instruction you have and some of the information you're giving on your expertise. But there's a lot of very personal stories in this book. How did you feel about writing and being so vulnerable and putting all that out there? Was that healing or?
Good question. It was terrifying, but I remember reading books and books and books and thinking, you know, for it to have an impact, for it to mean something, it's got to be real. So I wanted to be as real as I could be about my own experiences, both as a person and as a psychic. And so it was very terrifying to put it out, but I expected, you know, the men in white coats to come and take me away once I declared to the world that I was psychic, but nothing like that happened. And actually I've had just nothing but fantastic responses from people saying how the books really helped them. They know they're not crazy now, they had a mother like mine. It's been very rewarding to see people really grow and develop from this book.
Well, you write about your mother, but then I noticed when you dedicated the book, she's also mentioned in one of the people that you wanted to thank for the book. So there must have been some healing in that as well, too.
Well, I don't think I could have written the book until I had healed and I had some distance between those events. But also the writing the book was cathartic for me, and I realized, having studied metaphysics and so many life stories, that our greatest nemesis are often our greatest teachers. So I called her my upside down angel, and she was one of my greatest teachers.
Thank you very much, Natasha.
You're welcome, Christopher.